everything I know about Aaron. In fact, it's good that he is being investigated. Finally, an end to this nonsense. But what if it's not about that? What if it's about Lily? What if she turns up dead, floating in the bag with her lips blue? And in that case, why would that Guardia be at my house and not Rue's? I stick my keys in the door and hear a sound from the living room. Animal, guttural, feral. I cock my ear. It's my mother. It's my mother, and she is crying. I rush in and everybody's there. My mum, my dad, Joanne, 2 police officers, and 1 other person. A person it takes me a second to recognize at first. Partly because I don't know her very well, and partly because she's covered in blood. Sarah. Jo, I realize, is purple in one eye. Her irises died. Cranberries died. Not died is in dead, but died as painted. Cranberry. Someone has hit her. Someone has hit them both. Maeve, my dad stands up. Maeve, I think you should go to your room. What happened? I asked. Darling, I think it's best if you... What happened? I shouted. Jo, what happened to you? Jo looks at me mutely, utter despair in her eyes. Maeve, Detective Griffin says, as softly as she can, manage. I'm so sorry that we keep meeting like this. Tell me what happened, I say, panic rising in my voice. Griffin looks at my parents. My mother is still crying. My father looks completely shell-shocked. He gives her a tiny nod of confirmation, a nod of, go on, you might as well tell her. Your sister and Miss Mallock were attacked, she says simply. We are certain that it was an act of intolerance. Where? At college, Jo suddenly blurts. Literally at college. We were just sitting in the student union having a fecking hot chocolate. A hot chocolate, Jo spits the words out, then laughs to herself. I wish it was something stronger. If I'm going to get attacked for being gay, I might as well be drinking whiskey. They would love that, wouldn't they? They, I say. Who are they? The children of Bridget, the same people who crashed the gig. They were pushing pamphlets in our faces about how we were undermining the natural order, blah blah blah. All this all this, can we engage you in the thoughtful conversation about how you are scum? I told them to piss off. And I told them, says Sarah, her voice croaky, that they could shove their propaganda up their arseholes. Then one of them pounced on Sarah, saying that as a woman of colour, she should be extra conscious of what kind of example she was setting for younger girls in her community. Oh, they were very pleasant about it. I said, what community? Sarah gives a dry laugh. The baseball team. Then one of the men just swung at her. What? I splutter. They went from 0 to punch-up in 60 seconds. To be fair, I don't think it was part of their plan, Sarah says grimly. Maybe a brown girl answering back was just a little too far for this guy. Jo hit back, and after that it was free for all. All bets were off. I don't know what to do, where to look, where to put my hands. I can't stop staring at Sarah. For so long I've had her written off as the girl who hurt Jo, but cheating on her. The girl who was eventually going to steal my sister away from me, like Sister Assumptia. I've never really thought about Sarah as a person in her own right, with her own battles. Griffin asks me to step outside so she can finish taking their statements. I go up to my room and bury my face in Tutu's blonde fur. That's the dog. For as long as I can remember, Jo has been gay. I don't remember her coming out. I don't remember any discussions about it. When she was 18 and I was 11, she came home holding hands with a girl called Chris, and that was it. Mum and Dad looked at each other and raised their eyebrows, and Abby gave some condescending declaration about how proud she was of Jo. But that was it. Chris had dinner with us, and she hung around for a few months, and then she was gone. And then a few years later, Sarah started showing up. There might have been other relationships too, but I don't know. Jo's not sort of to just open up about what kind of thing. About that kind of thing. But in all the time, I never once remembered Jo coming home bleeding or crying or upset about any hate she received. Once in a blue moon, someone would yell something on the street, particularly when she was campaigning for the equal marriage stuff. But she brushed it off. It didn't mean anything to her, but there was never anything like this. I hold Tutu close. I did this. I was the one who threw the energy of the city out of whack. I pulled the Jenga brick out of the tower, and the whole thing started to wobble. The snow, the river, the hate, the blood, Aaron and his strange ability to both sense and exploit the weakness in Kilbeg is all pouring out of the hole the housekeeper ripped open in the world, and I am the one who gave her the knife. I squeezed my eyes shut and see my sister's bleeding eye, the lens of crimson flowering out of her irises. Sister Sumptuous, glowing, moonlike cataract, Harriet Evans, and her winched eyeliner. I have to fix it. I have to fix it. I have to fix it. She keeps on repeating it. Now, Harriet was campaigning for divorce, and now Maeve's sister is campaigning for equal rights as in relationships. So that is it's got something to do with relationships. So it's quite nostalgic, I think. Ooh, it's eerie, but exciting. I'll see you in the next chapter. Ciao, ciao.